I honestly don't know how I would have survived having my third baby without this item. It made middle of the night feeds such a dream. For this next product, I actually need to share a formal apology. And that is because this is a product that I slandered on YouTube after having my first baby. Some of these things may genuinely surprise you. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Beth. I'm also a mom to 3 kids, 3 and under, and today I'm going to be sharing my all-time favorite baby products. Having 3 kids back to back to back, I feel like I have really been around the block when it comes to baby products and testing out different things, and because of what I do for work, I've also had the privilege of testing a lot of the baby products that are out there. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing the things that are, for me personally at least, kind of my non-negotiables for the first year. I'm not going to be including things in this video that are absolutely necessary, like diapers and wipes. I'm really only going to be including the things that my husband and I had moments with our babies where we just looked at each other and we were like, what would we do without this product? They are the things that we absolutely have loved and continue to love as parents. I also think that some of these things may genuinely surprise you. So without further ado, let's dive in. For the record, these are also in no particular order, but the first thing that I have on my list is the Kite baby sleep bags. I have tried sleep sacks, sleep bags from so many brands now, and these ones are just the best of the best. They wash so incredibly well. This one here that I'm holding is actually a sleep bag that we have had for, I want to say 3 years now. So this thing has seen some stuff. Like, all of our kids have had the opportunity to wear these sleep bags. I do think that the biggest reason why the Kite sleep bags have held up the best out of anything that we've tried is the fact that they are bamboo. The quality of them is so good. They're so buttery soft, and I just find that the material is very lightweight and breathable, but it's also been perfect for our kids in Canadian winters. For all of their sleep bags, we've gotten just the 1.0 TOG, which is basically just the measurement of the weight of the sleep bag. We have just found that the middle ground of 1.0 has been perfect for year-round wear. We've got a couple of these in extra small for the first, I would say, like 0 to 3 months. We've got some of the medium bags that are great for like 6 to 12 months. And then beyond that, these super long ones that our kids have worn up to like age 2.5. So Kite sleep sacks, one of my non-negotiables when it comes to having a baby. The next thing on my list is the Uppa Vista stroller. We have the V2. I believe that they've actually released newer models since then. This one in particular, if you are planning on having kids back to back, or if you want to have a first and then a second one kind of soon-ish after that, this stroller is so amazing for parents of multiples. It's also amazing if you're just gonna have one baby, but it does obviously come with so many different attachments and pieces that make it a great option if you're looking to expand your family as well. I have really put that thing through the absolute ringer with our 3 kids. Not only have I pushed 2 under 2 in that stroller twice, there have also been many times that I have gotten all 3 of my kids on that stroller when I have been out. It has seen many harsh Canadian winters. We have traveled with it, and it has been underneath the bottom of planes. It has been unfolded and folded back into my van hundreds of times, and it has still held up so great for our family. Obviously, it's got some nicks and dings on it. That's not something that I'm really concerned about. What we were looking for was something that was super well built and was gonna have the structural integrity to be able to make it through many kids back to back. Beyond how sturdy it is, there are a couple of major pros for me about it. One of them being the fact that the Meza car seat that we have had and all 3 of our babies have sat in, it can come right out of the car and click right down onto the stroller. When I park my car and I'm pulling all of my kids out, it is super easy for me to load them right into the stroller, to take the car seat and pop it right down on top, and I am on my way. Another thing that makes it a non-negotiable for me is the fact that I can push it into a single wide entry door, and it is low profile enough on the sides that we can actually make it through. I have been able to just squeeze right in, and have seen other people need to park their strollers at the side because it actually wasn't able to clear the doorway. Or say at the grocery store and one of your kids needs to go to the bathroom and you have all your kids in the stroller, you still got to be able to clear those small entryways with that stroller to get everyone inside and to keep everyone safe. So that is another reason why it has just been a non-negotiable for me. That doesn't mean that there are 0 cons ones. You can't actually stack 2 toddlers on the chair without buying another seat and some extenders, which is a little frustrating because the setup in and of itself is already so pricey, but I did find ours secondhand, which helps. The other con that I will say about this stroller is that sometimes the configurations can be a little weird and you have to actually have your baby on the bottom. So from that perspective, it's not absolutely perfect, but it has served every purpose that we have needed it to for our family of 3. So it definitely gets my stamp of approval on the non-negotiable list. Next thing on my list is the original Haka milk collector. I am so grateful that I knew that milk collection was a thing prior to having my first baby, because I've heard from so many moms that didn't even know that they could collect their milk and were either just soaking through clothing or throwing out disposable breast pads that were full of liquid gold because they didn't know that they could be collecting their milk. I believe I have now tried 4 different milk collectors, some actually also from the brand Haka, some from other brands, and this is still the one that I come back to as my favorite. And it can be a little bit controversial because some people have talked about how this can actually impact your supply and cause oversupply or discomfort, and that definitely is possible, but I do also think that it's possible with most of the milk collectors that are out there because most of them have suction to some degree. And that makes this collector so crazy dynamic to me, is that there are a number of different ways that you can use it depending on how much of your milk and letdown you want to collect. Like I said, you can either just let it sit there, you can squeeze it if you want a little bit more suction, but there's also the trick that many moms, including myself, have used where you fold it over the top and then attach like this. I will warn you in advance that your nipple is going to look terrifying. You will get way more milk from this than you will get from any other collector. There were times that I would literally get like 4 ounces to put into a bag just from collecting on one side or both sides with my Haka. So for me, this was a non-negotiable. Next all-time baby favorite is the Maiden diaper bags. I have also tried a number of different diaper bags. I've tried backpack diaper bags. I have tried really deep diaper bags. I have tried different canvas bags. Maiden bags are the best bags in my opinion because they understand the value of pockets. I don't know why diaper bags continue to be made that are literally just like a black hole with 2 pockets on the side for your bottles. Moms need so many more pockets than that. We need pockets for wipes, we need pockets for our wallet, for our keys, for our pacifiers, for snacks. We need pockets for everything. And Maiden bags are absolutely full of pockets. They obviously do have the big space in the middle here for things like diapers or swaddles, change of clothes, but then as you can see, there are pockets everywhere throughout the interior of this bag. There are insulated pockets on both sides for snacks and bottles. You've got 4 interior pockets around the middle section here, and then on the outside you also just continue to have more pockets. You've got some here, you've got this front one that I would use to zip really important things like a credit card or keys, and then you've also got the exterior pockets on the side here which I would use for like water bottle, and then there is another hidden pocket on the back which is one of my favorite pockets because it is absolutely massive, and this is where I would put my diaper change stuff. So my diaper changing mat, the bag that I would store diapers into if I had a dirty diaper on the go. You literally just don't know how many pockets you really actually need until you become a mom, and you don't know the level of stress of not being able to find something in the diaper bag until you are like mid diaper change in public and there is something in the bag like diaper cream that you can't find because your bag is a black hole. All of the different bags that they make, they all have that level of intentionality when it comes to pockets. So definitely check them out. I think I do actually have a discount code for this brand in the description box, so I will include that there for you guys too. Next item on my list is the Baby Bay bassinet. The Baby Bay isn't a product that we got until our second baby. When we discovered the Baby Bay, it changed our life. It goes directly up to your bed, and then it has a divider in between so that you can actually co-sleep with your baby safely without the possibility of you rolling onto your baby or your baby rolling on to you. We also got the maxi version of the Baby Bay, so our babies were able to stay in our bedroom in that bassinet up to 6 months, which would just not have been possible in the bassinet that I had tried before. It made middle of the night feeds such a dream because all I had to do was wake up, reach over, pick up my baby, feed my baby, and put them right back into that bassinet. So I did not have to get up out of bed. It really did help us to get a little bit more sleep in the night in the newborn stages. And the other thing that made this a non-negotiable for me is the fact that it came with wheels. This was a great way for me to bring baby with me and still have my hands free to do things like cook myself a meal or take care of my other kids or fold laundry, because I would just push the whole bassinet through our house on wheels and bring my babies with me. So I had an amazing experience with the baby bag. Next all-time fave is the Dream Egg sound machines. Sound machines can be so expensive, and honestly, for what? We literally need these to do one, maybe two things, and that is to give us some white noise and the option for a nightlight when we need it. I got lured into the world of marketing for sound machines when we had our first baby, and all of these crazy extra features like custom color lights that you can set to it or programmable routines and all of this stuff really did get me the first time. And so we invested in a sound machine that was double the price of this one. That sound machine is now broken and has been broken for years now. Not to mention that I've heard so many like crazy lawsuits come out about the particular sound machine that we had. You really just can't go wrong with the Dream Egg. These ones are half the price of so many of the expensive fancy brands out there. And although I don't actually need that many features, like I said, it does still have a number of different sounds that you can make, from white noise to lullabies that it can play. You can obviously adjust volume on it. You can turn the nightlight on it, but it also has like a pulsing nightlight, which I found to be helpful for middle of the night diaper changes. And there is also the feature to have it turn off after a certain time as well. So I really just feel like with a sound machine, the simpler, the better. And we did have a great experience with this one. So when our other sound machine broke, we replaced it with another one of these, and we have these in each of our kids' bedrooms right now, and they have served us very well. The next item on my list, if I had to narrow down to one baby item that I would say is absolutely non-negotiable, this would be the one. And I do not say that lightly, but I honestly don't know how I would have survived having my third baby without this item, and it is the Maybe carrier. I have so much love in my heart for this product that I could honestly get emotional about it, and I know that that sounds dramatic, but when you have had a baby with colic, especially when you already have two toddlers at home, you really just don't know like the level that you are going to be in the trenches, and this was really the thing outside of the Holy Spirit that got me through. The reason that I love Maybe's Monarch carrier so much is the fact that it is incredibly easy to put on when you are by yourself. All you have to do is use these little clips and then these straps to kind of pull and adjust when your baby is on. And I have tried so many baby carriers. Again, because of my work, I've really honestly been able to try pretty well every style of baby carrier, so many of the different brands that are out there, which has been such a privilege, and I've been so grateful to do that. But I share that to say that this is the one that I have tried that has been the best experience, from both ease of putting on solo, but also comfortability after long periods of wear. You can wear your baby on the front, you can wear your baby in a backpack, you can forward face. It's also just so beautiful. They wash well, and so I really just cannot say enough good things about this carrier. You can really adjust the size of this middle section for your baby, whether they are a newborn or 12 months old. I also have really loved the fact that this section here, you can either have flipped up or clipped down. In the newborn and like tiny days, I definitely did have it flipped up most of the time to just provide a little bit more head and neck support. But now when I'm wearing my 9-month-old, I usually have this clipped down so she can kind of see around the world and around our house. And then if she's going to take a nap, I'll actually clip this back up again, and she is still napping in this carrier at 9 months old. And so if I did have to recommend just one baby product to any mom, it would be this carrier. I've had a dream experience with it. Their customer service is amazing. I'm gonna put a link down in the description box that will give you guys a discount at checkout if you are interested in checking out Maybe as well. For this next product, I actually need to share a formal apology, and that is because this is a product that I slandered on YouTube after having my first baby. But I have learned some things. I have now seen some things as a mom, and I have changed my mind. It is the Baby Bjorn bouncer chair. If any of you guys have seen my baby products that I regret buying video, this was literally on the thumbnail of that video. It was one of the products that I went in on about how it is so expensive, just not necessary or worth your money as a mom. And at that point in time, I was being very honest in my experience about this chair. My first baby did not like it. My first baby did not need it. And I do 100% stand by the sentiment that if you can avoid baby containers, so baby chairs, baby swings, extra saucers, all of these kinds of things, that you should, because they're really actually not 100% necessary for babies that are otherwise content to be on the floor or on a play mat, playing with toys, getting that freedom of movement and mobility. That is all still true. However, my second baby was not the same baby as my first. My second was actually born with reflux and food allergies. And so we experienced so much vomit, and every single time I would have him on his stomach, he would face plant into his vomit. Every single time I had him on his back, he would vomit and he would be like gurgling it and swallowing it. It was gross, okay? So we needed to leverage an incline a lot more. We needed to hold him a lot more than we ever needed to hold our first. And this chair suddenly became very necessary in order to be able to do that if I wasn't able to physically hold him for a moment on my own. Fast forward to my third baby, and this chair, you guys, deserves an honorary mention as a parent in our home, because my third baby, like I said, had really severe colic, and she would cry and cry and cry, and it was like a day and night thing. And this chair was one of the only things other than baby wearing that brought her some solace and some comfort, being upright and being able to bounce a little bit. And so there were many times where I just needed a second to not be holding her, because I felt like I was doing that 24/7, and we would put her in that chair if someone else couldn't hold her. And again, it was just one of the only things that gave us a second to just not hear crying for 2 minutes. And so that is why I owe a formal apology to Baby Bjorn, to anyone that I maybe led astray in saying that this was not necessary, and then you had a baby with reflux or colic. I am so sorry. And the reality is that if you are a first-time mom, or even a mom having a subsequent baby, and you have not needed something like this so far, don't buy it. Don't get it until you need it. It is one of those things that you can maybe evaluate after your baby is born, and you can kind of see what it's gonna be like with your baby, because they're all so different from each other, and some things that worked so well for your first may not work for your second, and the things that work for your friend's baby may not be the things that work for yours. And so while this product was not necessary for our first, and I did have those genuine moments of regret in buying it, I was so glad that we had it for our second. And by the time that we had our third, it certainly made its way to the non-negotiable list. Next thing that is an absolute essential for me, and I really do think that every mom should have on her registry, but especially if you have a baby that's got reflux or colic, is the Biogaia infant drops. These are probiotic drops for immune and gut health, and the really nice thing about these, on top of the fact that they really do provide that relief when it comes to gas for your baby and upset stomach, is that they do also include vitamin D. And so if you are also doing vitamin D drops, which every mom should, but especially for the babies who are breastfed, you can simplify that whole routine for your baby and avoid having to do a probiotic and a vitamin D drop by just using this one thing daily. And so for all 3 of our babies, this just became another step of our everyday routines with them. But we noticed such a difference when it came to overall stomach health, gassiness, the amount of times that our babies were pooping, how often and how easily our babies were pooping, and the fact that it also had the vitamin D was just another level of peace of mind for me as a mom as well. The next on my list is the Stoke Triptrap high chair. When I was looking for a high chair for our first baby, there were a few different categories that I was thinking of. I was looking for something that looked good, that was super easy to wipe, that was very functional, and then very durable, because I did not really want to have to buy a high chair multiple times over the course of having children. And I took a little bit of a gamble, because the Stoke Triptrap was one that I had seen about about online, but I didn't actually know anyone in real life that had it until I was talking to one of my friends that actually was born and raised in Sweden, and I found out that this is a high chair that is just commonplace for them out there. They are all raised in those Triptrap high chairs, and their families will keep them for generations because they hold up so well over time. They look beautiful and they're very durable. And so when she was like, my parents literally still have the high chair that I sat in, I was sold. I was like, that sounds perfect. That's exactly what I am looking for. And we have had such a great experience with our Triptrap. I think one of the biggest things that I love about it personally is the fact that it actually doesn't have a tray that it comes with. You can purchase a tray add-on, but the thing about the Triptrap that is so lovely is that your baby actually just comes right up to the table with your family, depending on the height of your table, obviously. We didn't want to have our baby kind of sectioned off while we all ate at the family table. We always wanted to have our baby come right up with us. And so all of our babies, when they have turned 6 months, have kind of rotated through this chair. So our third is now in it, and she'll come right up to the dinner table with us, and the tray just becomes the table, and I put the food right in front of her. It is so easy to wipe down because there's not a ton of like fabric that needs to be cleaned often. The fact that it is pretty flat across the board means that there are less opportunities for food to kind of get stuck in all of these different crevices and corners, and although food can get stuck in there, it is really easy to clean, and the fact that it is wood just allows it to hold up so well over time. It also looks like it is just a part of our dinner table because the wood matches the color of our table, and so that has just been an added benefit for us as well. But we have had a great experience with our Triptrap. This next one would definitely be the biggest non-negotiables for our kids because it is their prized possessions in life, and it is the Cat Lovey blankets. So this right here is Bun Bun. This is my now 3-year-old's Lovey that she has had since she was 4 months old, and this over here is Pup Pup. This is my current baby Rosie's little Lovey that we gave to her when she was 4 months old. Not pictured here because it is currently being washed is Lammy. That is my 2-year-old's Cat Lovey that was introduced at 4 months old. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of a pattern, and I have introduced these Loveys to my kids at 4 months old 3 times in a row. Why, you might ask? It is because at 4 months old, the sleep regression happens. You start to get a little bit of separation anxiety that's starting to kick in. Sleep just becomes a little bit more complicated for babies at that age, and they can benefit from some comfort. And so at 4 months old, during naps and when I'm holding them in their car seats, I have given these Loveys to my kids to start to form those initial stages of bonding with them and affection towards them. And that has just continued to grow and grow and grow. And once I feel comfortable with my babies actually sleeping with these in their cribs at night, I know that having anything in the crib for the first 12 months of baby's life can be controversial, but with all 3 of our kids, we have found that there has been a time, which has varied, that we felt comfortable introducing these, and it helps their sleep so much, you guys. I find that it is like the biggest sleep cue that they have, literally from the time that they are babies now all the way up to 3 years old. When our kids hold these things, it's game over. I literally have to try and like hide them during the day because if they find them, they will get so sleepy. And so they have been amazing for nap times, for quiet times, for bedtimes, for long trips in the car. And I don't know why we haven't done this yet, but we need to get backups of these because every time that we have lost them for like an overnight or even an afternoon, it has just been like, what are we gonna do? So I cannot recommend these things enough, more than any stuffed animal or any blanket that my kids have received. These have really become their prized possessions in childhood, and I think it's so special that they all have the same thing but like a different animal. And so that is a cute little tradition that any of you guys can steal for your own kids as well. My final all-time favorite baby product are the Bibs Pacifiers. If you are a long-term viewer of my YouTube channel, you would know that I have used Bibs Pacifiers with all 3 of my babies. They really have helped to support all 3 of my kids with sleeping and calming their bodies down at night. These pacifiers really have been so helpful in helping all 3 of our kids sleep from the baby stage into early toddlerhood. And another thing that is so nice about them, especially for newborns, is that if your baby has that really strong like suckle reflex and they're always wanting to nurse, that this can give you a little bit of a break as well and still allow them to get that comfort without you being on the clock to nurse them 24/7. These are also latex free. They've got so many different styles on their website if you want to try different nipples and you're not sure what your baby is going to like. They've got these little kits that you can try that have all different kinds, so you can actually find one that works the best for your baby. Also, just cannot beat the design of these soothers. They are so cute. They're like a little accessory in and of themselves. If you do enjoy cute things for your baby and that is something that you have fun with, you will have a ton of fun picking out cute styles and colors on the Bibs website. Well, those are all of my all-time baby products as a mom of 3. They are the things that I have had just the best experience with, and obviously I'm just so happy to talk about because they have been such a special thing in our family while we've been raising babies over the last 3 years. I would love to know what your non-negotiables are for babies. Obviously, again, there are things like burp cloths, diapers that you need, but what did you try and just absolutely fall in love with or have a great experience with? If there are any first-time moms down in the comments, I feel like they would love to see that perspective from other moms as they are building their registry and figuring out what is worth investing in. So definitely share that down in the comment section. But until my next video, I love you guys, I'm praying for you guys, and I will see you soon.